Today on Community Cooking, we have one of our very own hosts cooking on the other side. Chef Kawakami is here to make another great meal. Today we're making an arugula salad with a lemon dressing, plus a simple carbonara that's anything but ordinary. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community, so grab a chair and get comfortable. We have another great meal for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hi, and welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Maria Prekagis, with another Community Cooking host, Jeff Kawakami.
Hello.
We put you on the other side. I like it.
I like the other side. This is the side I'm comfortable in, because this is the side I came from.
I know. Well, we moved you over, so now, you know, he's dual.
Mm-hmm.
So you always use not very many pots, not very many pans, and today, simple ingredients. So
super simple, and this is something that's going to look real fancy. So you can do this like for a dinner party. People are going to be really impressed.
Good.
And so especially the salad. This is my favorite salad. It's classic Italian, super, super easy. And then we have, it's arugula, of course.
Oh, I could just
I love arugula.
like that.
And we're just going to, a little lemon, some olive oil, salt and pepper. That's it.
You know, that's what my mother, being Greek, so same thing, Greek, Italian.
Very
that's
classic.
What we used on everything.
Yeah, it's so delicious and so easy. Like,
so easy.
Yeah, and then we're gonna make spaghetti carbonara. Now, people think carbonara, they think, well, first they think unhealthy, which it's not.
Well, I do. I don't know if I've ever actually had a true carbonara. I'm like, what? I was reading the script going, what's a carbonara?
Well, if you type in carbonara, I know that WordPerfect used to, it would like correct it to cardiary. So
that's funny.
But it's basically like eggs, cheese, and this is pancetta, which is it's pork belly that's not cured. So it's like they call it the Italian style bacon. So if you can't find pancetta, which it is everywhere, you can totally use bacon. It'll be delicious and smoky because bacon's smoked.
Yeah.
So, and then a little bit of butter because we got to finish the pasta with butter.
But it's a lot of pasta.
It's a lot of pasta. We're using a pound of pasta.
Well, I was going to say, how do you gauge how much pasta to use? Because when I do it, I always make too much, but leftovers are great.
I always make all the pasta. I'm terrible at that. I make all the food.
Yeah.
But you want leftovers, you know?
I do.
Yeah. So, simple salad. Okay. Now.
Arugula, which.
And I brought my favorite lemon squeezer.
See, I only use that for limes. I do the old-fashioned lemon squeezer, try to get some muscles growing up.
They have different colored ones. So the yellow one's for limes. There's a green one for green is for limes, yellow lemon, and then one for oranges. But they never fit. So
I was like, you can't put an orange. Oh, because they're always oranges don't fit.
Very simple.
A little olive oil. Little salt. And you like your kosher salt.
I love my kosher salt because it's flaky and you're actually using less than you think you are. And some pepper. You're gonna give that a nice toss.
This is my tip. Tongs with a salad are your friend.
I love my tongs. If I lost my tongs, I would be so sad.
How many pair do you have, though? It's like my readers. I have like 20 pair and I can never find them. I
have a lot of tongs.
Yeah.
I'm never without my tongs.
My brother owns a restaurant up in Idaho, and one day he put the tongs out, and I go, okay, it's so easy. No one wants to serve themselves salad like this in a buffet. Tongs.
Oh, no, tongs. And look, you just shave it with the regular vegetable peeler, and then you have a fancy-looking salad.
That's awesome. So let's talk. That's Parmesan.
Yes, Parmesan, because that's that's doing double duty today, because it's going in our sauce. So our sauce, actually...
Well, I want to back up for a second and ask you about Parmesan.
Okay, yes.
The difference is there's some aged, some not so aged. I mean, what's the deal?
Do you see what I'm doing right now?
I know. I have to work. Great. Hello. There's the producer of this show.
So we're actually making this dish, too, because I'm lactose intolerant. And a lot of people will put cream in pasta carbonara, but you don't need it. We're using the pasta water and you're using eggs. It's classically thickened with eggs, but this is aged cheese. Any cheese that's been aged will lose its lactose over the period of aging.
Well, I was going to say you're lactose intolerant, yet we're using cheese. So the more it's aged,
the less lactose it will have in it. And you can also look on the ingredients of your cheese, and if it says sugar, then you know that there's still lactose in it. But usually aged, harder cheeses don't have lactose anymore. So this is a friendly dish.
I love it. Yeah, because when I think carbonara, too, I do think a lot of...
you think of cream and like dairy or something. But
and you salt your water after it boils.
Yes, because if you salt the water before, it's going to take it longer to boil.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Give me some skin, because that just totally changed my life.
So I'm dropping in the pasta.
Saying.
Well,
salt it after it boils.
Yeah, if you salt it before, it's all about you're making the water more dense because you're adding salt to it, and so it's going to take it longer to boil. It's science.
Science geek?
I am.
No science at all. Theater major. So there you go. That is so funny. Now, some people put oil in their water.
Well, the only reason to put oil in the water is because when when water boils and it like froths up and it foams over, it helps to stop that because the oil is emulsifying all the bubbles, all the foam. Once again, science.
I meant science geek in the best way. So oh wait, you didn't want me to use this one.
So could you grate this cheese for me? Because that's going to go in our sauce. And I'm going to start cracking our eggs. Now, this is what is, we're going to be making...
Oh, I'm supposed to work, sorry. I'm so enamored. All right, I'm starting on this end.
So we're making this sauce. I'm going to use 2 whole eggs to start with.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use 4 yolks. And the sauce is going to be made from eggs and pasta water.
So no cream. I like it already.
No cream. And yeah, next time you make pasta, save your pasta water because if you...
I was like, no, you need the yolks there, babe.
I need the yolks, I know. I do that every time.
I know. And
there
separating yolks should not be that difficult. And here's my tip, which I'm sure you know, but I'm going to pretend like I know something you don't, haha. If you get a shell, yeah, you know.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I just found that out a couple years ago. You use the eggshell, and it's like a vacuum.
Yeah, it tracks right up to it. Yeah, because anyone who's ever tried to use their finger, it's like it's running away from you.
Or a spoon, yeah. You're going around the bowl.
No, it's just totally running away from you.
That's so funny. Yeah, it might have been you that told me that. So 2 eggs, 2
whole eggs, and then 4 egg yolks.
The yolks are good.
And I'm just using my hands to separate it because these are the best, tools in the kitchen. And I got some paper towels right here. And I'm not worried about salmonella.
I'm not worried at all.
Actually, they say the thing you should be worried about with eggs is actually the outside of the eggs.
Really?
Well, yeah, because you know where the egg comes from, right? So you got to keep those things clean.
Well, now I may never eat another egg again. Just saying.
So this is boiling, and the pasta, follow your package directions. Usually takes about 9 or 10 minutes to cook.
Just throw it against the wall or throw it against your friend, see if it sticks. Not me.
I've heard about that, throwing it, and I've tried that, and I don't know if that's actually like a scientific method.
But if it sticks, it's usually actually almost overdone.
Yeah.
I did that a lot growing up.
And
so keep grating. I'm fine grating.
Oh yeah, just keep grating.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put the pancetta in here, and I just added a little bit of oil to let this go. Okay. You need a little fat in there to help it to start to cook, and I want to just cook this down.
Pancetta, I usually find it in thin slices, but you obviously didn't because you have little cubes.
Yeah, and this was I found this in a package, already cubed up, ready to go.
Well, God bless you, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's so much easier that way.
So the hard part, do you usually cut that out or just still?
Yeah, the rind, the rind is good if you can put that in soups actually, and it'll give it a lot of flavor, but we don't want that in our pasta.
Okay. I've been avoiding it.
Now this is going to be a fun trick because I'm sure you're thinking, oh, we're going to add boiling water to eggs. I'm going to show you, we're going to temper it.
Well, see, and I've done some baking recipes, and I have curdled eggs and curdled them.
Well, that's actually, okay, it's a good thing you brought that up because we are going to cook the pancetta down, and then when the pasta is almost done, we're going to add the pasta to here with some of the starchy liquid because we're actually going to be roughing up the surface of the pasta by agitating it.
Be nice
I want it starched so bad. Okay. But the starchy liquid it's good. Like people are just throwing away the water with their pasta, and you know how I don't like to waste anything.
I rinse.
Sorry. You rinse? Oh.
I know. My stock just went down. But all right, well the pancetta's cooking and the pasta's cooking, and I'm just gonna
keep grating away.
Good time for a break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. You're watching Community Cooking.
Look at you.
Oh.
Hi there.
We're necking.
How long did it take you to do your makeup?
I'm Tyler Haynes.
I'm Mamie Perez.
And I'm Zachary Downer, and we're members of the cast of Cats on Broadway.
Each year, between 6 and 8 million cats and dogs will enter shelters and rescue groups, but only half will be adopted.
That leaves millions of healthy and treatable pets who still need homes.
Only 45% of cats and 36% of dogs in American homes
Come from shelters or rescue groups.
which are full of wonderful family-friendly pets.
The Shelter Pet Project and Cats on Broadway have joined forces to encourage you to consider shelter pet adoption first when looking for a new four-legged friend.
Whether you're looking for a quiet companion to relax with at the end of the day or a furry friend who's outgoing and ready to take center stage, there's a shelter pet out there who's perfect for you.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find adorable, adoptable, curious cats and dogs near you today.
Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Maria Prekagis, with another Community Cooking host, Jeff Kawakami, who's hard at work. I think I got my arm workout in and the grating.
You did an excellent job.
We're good with that. The Parmesan cheese.
Yes.
The pancetta is really sizzling.
Oh, it's nice and browned, which I'm loving. And I've drained the pasta, but
Yes.
I reserved the cooking liquid.
Because you don't like to waste a thing.
We're not wasting a thing. And this is what's going to make, yeah. I'm sure you're like, that's weird, right? Why would I be pouring the water in there? But that's what's making the sauce.
I know. Well, there's no heavy cream, which I love.
No heavy cream, which I love because I can eat this. So I'm going to put the pasta in here because I didn't cook this to be, I cooked this a little short of al dente, so it's still chewy.
Okay.
But that's because when I cook this in here and I rough it around like this, I'm getting some starch to release from the pasta.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm adding more of the starchy liquid from the pasta water. And what's really cool about this is you're going to think like, that seems really soupy, but it's actually the heat from this is going to cook those eggs perfectly, but we don't want scrambled eggs.
I was
know,
like, but not
this
curry.
is-
I know. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I know what happens when I do this.
So I'm
it doesn't
putting
come out well.
a lot of pepper.
A lot of pepper.
A lot of pepper.
I was like, achoo. Ooh.
Carbonara needs lots of pepper because it's kind of rich because of all those eggs, and that pepper is just going to just make it pop. So
And then
heat
when
off.
do we put the butter in? At the end?
The very end. Just going to finish it with a little butter. So
All right. I'm crossing my fingers for
yeah,
you.
we're tempering. And notice I still have more liquid because this will thicken up. You'll be very surprised. The longer you let it sit, the thicker it gets.
So you add just a little bit of pasta.
Because I'm starting to warm up the eggs. I don't want to shock them because if you put really hot stuff directly in there, you will have scrambled eggs.
So if you do the whole thing, forget about it.
Exactly. And also notice I'm not pouring this into the pot because this pot, this is cast iron. It's retaining so much heat, it will curdle your eggs.
Yeah. So you want to keep them in a nice, cool, room temperature bowl.
Yeah. And I salted the water. Notice I haven't added any salt to this because I salted the water, and we're going to be adding all that delicious cheese that you so diligently grated.
Just a little bit. Here,
So
we'll
I
do
think
one.
this is ready.
Then you can add the rest.
Yep.
I see no curdling, darling.
There's no curdling because we
Nice
slowly added the eggs. And now you want to start throwing in handfuls of cheese?
Oh, yeah. This work I can do. Look, I'm like being so gentle with it. Oh, and the cheese just melts down. Good parm. That is good parm.
Oh yeah. Well, also when you grate your own cheese, it's going to be a better quality because they add anti-caking agents to the grated cheese, so there's going to be like cellulose and stuff. Yeah, mixed in with your cheese. No, we're real fresh food.
Well, and everyone nowadays is just like, eat fresh, eat simple, eat, the basics, and why wouldn't you?
All right, now.
Oh my word!
See how delicious that looks. And it's still a little thin, but you know what? It's gonna continue to thicken.
Yeah.
So you just gotta give it a little minute to sit. That's why I reserved this, just in case it got too thick.
Yeah.
But I think it looks really good.
Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah.
Chunk.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
It's just going to make it. I'm just gonna put it all in there. It's just gonna
make.
make.
Hello.
It's just gonna make the sauce really glossy and velvety.
Yeah, and really good.
Yes.
Hello, it's butter. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So now, as you can see, it's just really,
salivating.
really rich. And
but that's why we have the nice light salad.
exactly. This is acidic. It's bright. The arugula is really peppery. This is going to be rich and thick and delicious. And I am going to taste it for salt because you always need to check for salt.
Yeah. Oh, how hot is that? You're not burning anything.
I have no feeling.
No feeling.
I'm actually going to add more pepper.
I trust you.
A lot of pepper.
I didn't realize that there was so much pepper in there. That's awesome.
It really makes it pop.
Yeah.
It really does. You got to So a little bit more salt.
I have a friend who, before he even tastes his meal, adds pepper. I go, honey, and when people just add salt before tasting it, but he likes so much pepper, he would be a huge fan of this.
See, I'm a huge hot sauce person.
Yeah.
But as a chef, I don't want to insult someone else's creation. So I will taste it first.
Yeah.
And then I'll cover it in hot sauce.
That's what breakfast. You could serve me cardboard with eggs, no toast. Everything gets hot sauce.
All right.
Look at that.
So I'm just going to let this sit for another few minutes, and then it'll be ready to plate up and we can eat it.
All right. Yeah. Before we go to break.
Yes.
You love this. You love cooking. You love entertaining for people. Well, of course, getting paid for it. He is available for chefing and catering.
Yeah.
But what is it? I know you grew up cooking in the kitchen, but what is it that just you love serving people the good food?
You know, I like creating food, and I like creating something that people are going to enjoy. Like, you're making people happy. Everyone loves food, you know. Everybody, we need to eat. Yes. Well, I like simple food too. You know, I think like things that are very simple but are delicious. You know, with very few ingredients. The fresher, the better. That's why the farmers markets are my favorite places to go. You know, but yeah, it makes me happy that I know I'm making other people happy, and I get to feel creative. You know. And I love science, and so there's a lot of science that goes into stuff like this. Yeah.
I love it. All right, well, we're gonna let that set up just a little bit. When we come back, my favorite part, tasting. You're watching Community Cooking.
Hey everyone, I'm Joel Gammon, National Chef for Sur La Table and host of Scraps, a cooking show all about fighting food waste. And I love desserts that you don't have to measure, that you can get messy with, and I absolutely love desserts that take advantage of bruised fruits. It's sweeter, they're all the way to the edge where the sugars are just kind of running out. So this is my old school bruised pear pendouti. I'm starting this pendouti, which is kind of like a free-form pie, by making a dough. And this is a really cool trick. I froze some butter, as you can see, and I'm grating it on a cheese grater. Look at this. As butter cooks, it kind of pops up and creates all these kind of air pockets. So it's really important to kind of keep butter separated from itself. I'm just gonna add a couple tablespoons of sugar. By a couple, I mean I'm just kind of guesstimating. And speaking of guesstimating, we have the perfect amount of pears for this recipe because if you haven't checked it out yet, I'm using the guesstimator plan in this entire meal, and it's the perfect amount where I don't have too much waste at the end. When it's all incorporated, you're ready for the next step. I'm gonna grab some salt with my zombie hand, right into the dough. Now, I love buttermilk for this because it adds a little tang. It's sour, right? All right, so these look awesome. I'm gonna kind of split them into two so they're a lot easier to roll out. I'm gonna toss them in the fridge for about an hour so they firm up, and then I'm gonna get started on the film. I've got a super hot pan. I'm gonna pour in some sugar and then just a splash of water. And it should kind of be like wet sand. And this is not the time to go check your cell phone, check the score of the game, see your favorite reality show. This is the time to stay close because any second this is gonna turn amber and start caramelizing and you don't wanna miss it. With the pears, I wanna keep somewhat chunky. Nice, chewy, kind of al dente pieces of pears. This has just a little bit of sugar. You can add some lemon juice. All right, so you can see the caramel has kind of become this dark, beautiful amber, and now we're gonna add some beautiful butter. 1 or 2 pats at a time, just so it completely emulsifies and it kind of cools down. Ooh, that looks amazing. Whenever I see caramel, I see salt. It's like PB&J, good flaky sea salt. Love it. And then all of those bruised pears. So right in. I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of flour. And there's natural pectin, which means there's a natural thickener in the actual fruit itself, but the flour kind of helps seethe the whole sauce and all the juices that are gonna come out of the pears. So it's been about 10 minutes. They're tender. I'm gonna grab a little lemon and just give it a little freshness. Pour this into a big roasting tray. Look how gorgeous that caramel is, sticky and delicious. And we're just gonna kind of let that cool down. And what's really cool about the pendouti is you don't have to be too precise. And you know, a pendouti itself is made with leftover pie scraps. So don't feel like you have to make a dough specifically for this. If you have leftover pie scraps around, perfect place to use it. And as this cooks, the pears are gonna kind of go down, down, down and reduce, and the pie scraps are gonna sink into the dessert itself. You always wanna make sure there's a little bit of air because you want room for the steam to escape so it can reduce down. This looks so good. I've got a little extra buttermilk. This is gonna help kind of brown the whole thing, so I'm just gonna scatter that. 400 degrees, 50, 60 minutes, uncovered, and then we'll check it out. Look at this. Ooh, I love it. Beautifully imperfect. That is gorgeous. dark caramel. You can smell the butter. You can smell the pears. You can absolutely do this in a little muffin tin and just start with individual portions. Makes it a lot easier and a lot less waste. All right, a little vanilla ice cream because we're not heathens here. This is a real deal. All right, a little bit of that ice cream. Some of that crust. Got to get some fruit in there. The pears disintegrate in your tongue. The crust is kind of craggly in all the right ways and just catches the sauce. I love this bruised pear pandowdy. And if you want the recipe for yourself and even more food waste tips, and of course the guesstimator for your home cooking, check out SaveTheFood.com. I'm gonna go take this and watch a rom-com.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. Jeff, my favorite part.
Ah, the eating.
The eating. All right, I will get you some salad.
Yes, and I will serve you some pasta.
Perfect. I'm excited about this salad because when we made it with just lemon, a little bit of olive oil, it always had more vegetables in it, so I'm excited just about the arugula. Whoops.
Well, this is your basic, simple version. You can add, other vegetables to it if you want. I actually did this because I teach a lot of cooking classes, as you know.
Yes.
And for some reason, this blew people's minds, the salad, because it was so easy. They're just like, you only added lemon juice and olive oil? And so I was like, well, I have to show this again.
Oh no, that is so delicious. I can see why. And with the Parmesan, it just gives it a little extra kick, but with the arugula and the lemon and olive oil, wow. All right, I'm making that for sure. Now, I'm a very bad pasta roller. Pasta spinner, pasta whatever you call it.
Pasta twirler.
Thank you. Help me with my big words. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Wow. What's not to love about that and all that pepper? I was a little worried. It just brings out everything. Oh my word. That.
You need the pepper. It's part of the dish.
No, it's not too much at all, and it just.
It adds it adds a depth to it.
Look at that.
Yeah, and see, you are a good twirler. And once again, I love this because I'm lactose intolerant, and so this is something that's creamy, but there's not a lot of dairy in it because the Parmesan is aged, so I'm not concerned about my lactose.
And look for on the Parmesan if it says.
You look for sugar, like when you're looking at a cheese, because lactose is just milk sugar. So that's what you're looking for. But yeah, any kind of hard aged cheese, usually you're fine with it if you have lactose intolerance.
I love that you know all the scientific stuff. It's so fascinating to me. It's so cool. Thank you for coming and being on the other side.
Oh, thank you very much. I love this side.
You're great on both sides. It's perfect. I really encourage you to try these recipes at home because they are delicious.
Easy.
On behalf of Jeff, myself, and the entire crew, thanks so much for watching today. And remember, we really do have some of the best chefs right here in our own community. We'll see you next time on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.